Hey friends, my name is Z and you're watching MakesItEasy, and welcome to a new video for IGCSE Maths, and today we have questions for simultaneous equation. And we looked into rules and examples last lesson, also if you haven't checked it out, just check out the description or check it out in my YouTube channel. And these questions are from DrFrostMaths or DFM, so if you want a PDF, you can check it out in the description or check it out on my website. And before you get into it, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any future videos. And let's get right into the first question. So question 1, solve the simultaneous equation. So we have this and this. So we can see it's quite straightforward that we could use the elimination technique. So minus the top and the bottom. To get 3a minus a is 2a. Oops, just delete this. 3a minus a is 2a. And 2b minus 2b is 0. So it will be nothing. And 1 minus 5 will be minus 4. And therefore we have 2a equals minus 4 and divide both sides by 2. It will be a equals minus 2. So from the second equation, when we have a plus 2b equals 5, we know that a is minus 2. So it will be minus 2 plus 2b equals 5. And add both sides by 2 and divide both sides by 2. It will get us b equals 7 over 2. So b equals 7 over 2. And therefore a equals minus 2 and b equals 7 over 2. Then we have question number 2, solve the simultaneous equation. So we have multiple ways to do it, but I could just add both sides up together. So y plus y will be 2y, and minus 2 plus 2 will be 0, so it will just cancel out. And 6 plus 0 is just 6. So 2y equals 6. And divide both sides by 2, you get us y equals 3. And just use the first equation to find what x is. So it will be 3 minus 2x equals 6. So it will be minus 2x equals 3. And just divide both sides by minus 2, it will get us x equals minus 3 over 2. And therefore the answer is that x equals minus 3 over 2 and y equals 3. And these are the answers. Then we have question 3, solve the simultaneous equation. So what we could do first is that we could times the first equation by 2 to match up with the y. So it will be 6x minus 4y equals minus 10. So we could minus both sides together to get minus 2 minus 6 will be minus 4x. And 4 minus 4 minus minus 4 will be 0, so it will just cancel out. And 2 minus minus 10 will be 12. And therefore from this we know that x equals x equals 3. Like so. So we can just put x equals 3 into the second equation to get 2 times 3 minus 4y equals 2. And 2 times 3 is 6. And minus both sides by 6. And divide both sides by minus 4, will get us y equals 1. Therefore, when x equals 3, y equals 1. And number 4, solve the simultaneous equation as well. So we could just times both sides by 3, times the top by 3 and times the bottom by 2 to get rid of the the y. So let's just write it here. 1 times the top by 3 will be 9x plus 6y equals 21. And number 2 times by 2, 8x minus 6y equals 30. We can plus both sides together to get rid of the y. So 9x plus 8x would be 17x. And 6 plus minus 6 would be 0. And then the right hand side would be 21 plus 30, which is 51. And to solve for x, you just divide both sides by 17. So 51 divided by 17 would be 3. So x equals 3. And let's just put this into the first original equation, this one right here. So it would be 9 plus 2y equals 7. So therefore, we minus both sides by 9 will be 2y equals minus 2. And minus 2 divided by 2 will be minus 1, and therefore y equals minus 1. Like so. Therefore x equals 3, y equals minus 1. So we have question 5 now. P is a point of intersection between the lines of equations 5x plus 2y equals 9 and 7x minus 2y equals 25. So find the coordinates of P. So basically what you can do is that you can just use the elimination technique, or can use the substitution. And I'll just use the elimination because it's much easier. So here's number 1 and here's number 2. So I could just times number 1 by 2 and times number 2 by 3. So for the new equations for number 1, it'll be times by 2, it'll be 10x plus 6y equals 18. And number 2 times by 3 will be 21x minus 6y minus 75. So just plus everything up to get 31x plus 0, because 6y plus minus 6y is 0. 31x equals 18 plus 75, which gets us 93. And divide both sides by 31, so it will be x equals 3. Like so. And for the corresponding y value, we can just work it out ourselves. So it will be 5 times 3 plus 3y equals 9. It will be 3y equals 9 minus 15, which gets us minus 6. And therefore y equals minus 2. So we know that the coordinates of P is 3 and minus 2. So P is 3 minus 2. Minus 2. Then we have question 6. Kate buy 2 lollies and 5 like this for 6.50, and this and this. So let's just use L and lollies as L and this as C. So it will be 2L plus 5C equals 6.5. And 2L plus 3C will be 4.3. We can minus both sides to get 2C equals 6.5 minus 4.3 will get us 2.2. And therefore divide 2.2 by 2 to get C, which is 1.1. Like so. So you have to give the cost of 1 lolly. So we know that 1C equals 1.1. We can work out the L. So it will be 2L plus 3 times 1.1 equals 4.3. Therefore 2L equals 3 times 1.1 will be 3.3. And 4.3 minus 3.3 will be 1.0. Therefore L will be 1 over 2. And the 1 over 2 will be pound. 1 over 2, 1 over 2, which is basically 0.5. And to change it to pence, it will be 50 pence. Like so. So it will be 50. So number 7, it shows a graph of y equals x squared minus 4x minus 2. Use the graph to find estimates for the value between the intersection between y equals this, which is basically the equation, and x plus y equals 6. So graphing is one of the methods that is used to solve simultaneous equation as seen in the last video. So let's just plot some points for x plus y equals 6. So let's see here. When x is 1, y will be 5. So that's the first point right here. 2, 4 right here. That's the first point. And when x is 5, y is 1. That's the second point. When x is 5, y is 1. Right here. And let's find the y-intercept. It'll be when x is 0, which is y is 6. So it'll be this point right here. So let's just draw a straight line, which is basically roughly around here. Let's just draw it less steep. Like so, roughly. So we can deduce that this is an intersection point. There are 2 intersection points. We have this and this. So it's quite difficult to read. So let's just rub out the x. Oops. It's fine. Let's just look at it. So it will be minus, the 2 values for x are minus 1. It's right here. So it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. So it will be around minus 1.6. So that's number 1, negative 1.6. And 4.2, it'll be 4.2468. It'll be 4.8. So that's 2 points when x equals minus 1.6 and when, oops, this is one in a new color. When x equals minus 1.6 and when x equals 4.8. Then we have question 8, solve the simultaneous equation, and we can use the substitution method. So just substitute this y squared by this right here. So it will be x squared plus 2x minus 3 squared minus equals 2. As you can see, this 2x minus 3 is y, which is y right here. So it will be x squared plus 4x squared minus 12x, because minus 3 times 2 is minus 6. 12x plus 9 equals 2. And add everything up to get 5x squared minus 12x plus 7. And we can now just simplify the equation using the quadratic formula, or we can just use our calculator to find it, so it's much faster. So to factorize this, you get two brackets. It'll be 5x minus 7 and x minus 1. Oops. X minus 1 equals 0. So we now have two values for x. So x could be 7 over 5 or 1. So we can just use the first equation to write out the value. So if x were to be 1 and if x to be 7 over 5, so the first equation, 2 times 1 minus 3 will get us minus 1, like so. And for the second solution, 2 times 7 over 5 minus 3 will be minus 1 over 5. And these are the solutions. And question 9, solve algebraically. So we have this as well, it's basically like just now. So we're going to rearrange the second equation to get x equals 2y minus 3. So put the second equation into the first equation. It'll be 2y minus 3 squared plus y squared equals 18. Then it'll be 4y squared minus 12y plus 9 plus y squared equals 18. So you can add everything up so that you can just factorize it later. So it'll be 5y squared minus 12y minus 9 equals 0. So you can just put into your calculator so that you can just factorize everything. So it will be 5y squared minus 12y minus 9 equals 0. You can just write into like the brackets form of 5y plus 3 and the other one 5y minus 3. Sorry, y minus 3 equals 0. Therefore you have two values for y. There will be y equals minus 3 over 5 or y equals 3. So we now have to find the corresponding x value. X equals blah blah. Y equals minus 3 over 5 and y equals 3. So we can put the values for y in this equation right here. It's this equation. So for the first case, 2 times minus 3 over 5 minus 3 will get us x equals minus 21 over 5, like so. And for the second equation, 2 times 3 will get us 6, and 6 minus 3 is 3. So at this point right here, and these are the values. And moving on to question 10, we have solved the simultaneous equation given the answers in 2 decimal place. So we can just do substitution. We do y equals 2 minus x. So it'll be x squared plus 2 minus x. 2 minus x squared equals 9. So it'll be x squared plus 4 minus 4x plus x squared equals 9. Simplify to get 2x squared minus 4x minus 5 equals 0. So we can just put this into our calculator. So let's just put it into our calculator to see the values for x, because it'll be in the third form. So it'll be x equals 2 plus or minus 14 over 2. So let's just find the corresponding y value, which will be, let's put it into this equation right here. This equation. So this is 2 when x is 2 plus root 14 over 2. It'll be 2 minus the fraction 2 plus root 14 over 2. It'll be 2 minus, which is basically the same, because it's like a conjugate. So therefore the values are the same, but it's just different signs at different times. So therefore when x is something, y will be something, like so. So we can have to find the value. So 2 minus root 14 over 2 will be minus 0.87, and 2 plus root 14 over 2 will be 2.87. So this is probably out. So x equals 2.87, and that's the same as the opposite, minus 0.87. Basically, it's the same as 2.87. And these are the answers. And the next question, we have question 11. Solve the simultaneous equation. So we can just equate both sides together, which basically means it's substitution. So since we have y equals this and y equals this, they both have to be equal to each other. So it'll be 2x squared equals 20 minus 3x. We can just bring all to one side, 2x squared plus 3x minus 20 equals 0. And we can factorize everything to become like 2 brackets. So it will be 2 brackets, 2x minus 5, and x plus 4. Like so. Therefore it gets us x equals 5 over 2, and x equals minus 4. So we can just find the corresponding y value by using this first equation right here. So when x is minus 4, y will be 2 times minus 4 squared, which is 32. Y equals 32. And when x is 5 over 2, y will be 2 times 5 over 2 squared altogether. Together is 25 over 2. And these are the sets of values. Oops, let's just write it down properly. 25 over 2. And these are the sets of values. Right, so. And now we'll move on to our last question, which is question 12. So a solid cuboid has a volume of 40, and the cuboid has a total surface area of 100 and length of 2 by 1 edge. So let's just give some values. So let's just set A, B, and C. Like so this whole thing has a volume of 40. So A, B, C is 40. And has a surface area of 100, so it will be 2AB plus 2BC plus 2AC equals 100. Because we know that this and this will be this face, there will be 2 of these face, 2 of these face, and 2 of these face. And you can actually just simplify this to become AB plus BC plus AC equals 50, because divide everything by 2. Like so. So one edge of the cuboid has a length of 2 cm. So let's just set B as 2, because B is basically the smallest. So therefore the 1 would be 2AC equals 40, because B is already 2. And therefore AC equals 20, that's number 1, 2. So B is 2, so from the second equation we can get 2A plus 2C plus AC is already 20, we established from here. So it will be plus 20 equals 50. Therefore 2A plus 2C equals 30. Divide everything by 2, so it will be A plus C equals 15. That's number 3. So we have A plus C equals 15 and AC equals 20. We can just rearrange this to get 15 minus C equals A. So it will be 15 minus C times by C equals 20. So it will be 15C minus C squared equals 20. And rearrange the equation to get C squared minus 15C plus 20 equals 0. And now you will get 2 values for C, which will be either C is 13.52 or C is 1.48. And obviously we can't get 1.48 because C is the longest and it's not shorter than B, because B is 2. So C has to be bigger than 2. So this is rejected. And therefore C is 13.52. So C is 13.52 right here. So we have C. That means that A will be 15 minus C, which is basically, let's just see it out, 15 minus 13.52, which is 1.48, like so. So now we have A and B already. So basically, let's just work this out. So basically, the question is trying to ask you the diagonal value for the cuboid, which is, if you draw a cuboid out, it will be like this, a cuboid, like so. The diagonal value would be this value right here. Let's just draw this. It will be from one corner to the other, like so. So it will be this value. Basically, it's like through the bottom left corner to the top right corner. So we have A and C. So if you look from the top, if you just use a bird's eye view, it will be like this, where this is A and this is C. And you have to find this value right here, this middle value. So we can use this Pythagoras theorem to get x squared equals a squared plus c squared. And we have the value for A and C right here. So it will be x squared equals 13.52 squared plus 1.48 squared, which is 184.98. Therefore, x is the square root of that, which is 13.60, basically. That's what the value. So once you have the value for x, we need the value for b, which is already 2. So we've already established this, so this is basically x, and this is basically b. So we have to find the final value, which is the length of the diagonal, like d. So it's basically Pythagoras again. So it will be d squared equals x squared plus b squared. So therefore d squared equals x squared is already from just now, 184.98, plus b squared is b is 2, therefore 2 squared is 4. Therefore it will be 184.98 plus 4 equals 188.98. Therefore, to find the value of the diagonal, basically d, you have to square root both sides. So the square root of d squared will be d, and the square root of 188.98 would be 13.74, which is 13.7 because 3 significant figures. Therefore, d equals 13.7. And these are the final answers. And this is for the simultaneous equation for IGCSE Ed Maths, and I hope you find it useful and helpful. And if you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. And if you have any constructive feedback or any comments about my channel or my YouTube videos or my website, just show that in the comment section and I'll reply to them. And check out my social media in the description, for example LinkedIn or Instagram. And if you need any learning resources or any teaching resources, just check out my website in the description, or you can type it out in your browser at www.MakesItEasy.com. And I hope you'll find it useful and helpful, and I'll see you all in the next video. But until then, stay safe and happy learning.